Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu ready to give a historic speech before a joint meeting of Congress today. Less than an hour from now, you can see people are starting to gather in that room. 55, 57 perhaps Democrats are not in that room. They will skip this speech. Not one single member of the Obama administration will even be a sort of token participant in this audience today. Ari Fleischer, a former White House press secretary under George W. Bush, and a board member of the Republican Jewish Coalition, joins me now. Ari, good to see you. Good morning.
Thank you, Martha.
Did you ever think you'd see this play out the way it has?
No, for an administration, a president who said that he has Israel's back, what he's doing today is turning his back on the leader of Israel. The president made this controversial. All he had to do was say, anybody can address Congress, that's their business. This would not be partisan, this would not be controversial, and probably very few people would be taking the speech live. The president made this into the moment it is because he sent this signal that he objects to what the prime minister is doing.
Yeah. There's discussion that Benjamin Netanyahu may lay out some of the details as he understands them of the deal that's being worked on between the United States and Iran to stop their production of potential nuclear weapons. Do you think he's going to do that?
Well, I don't know. I think that he is going to talk about the risks of allowing Iran to be on the pathway to getting nuclear weapons. And that's what we hear this deal will do. It doesn't matter if the path is long, the path is short, the path is full of cheats. And you can hide along the path and get nuclear weapons, and that's the problem with it. Iran should never be allowed to acquire nuclear weapons, end of story. That should be the policy of Europe, it should be the policy of the United States, and of course it's the policy of Israel. What the president's doing instead that's so alarming is allowing Iran to be on a path to getting nuclear weapons, where Iran is the only one who knows if they can speed up and get to the end of the path before anybody catches them. It's a terrible position to put the world in.
It could have been handled, as you pointed out, so very differently. Yeah. And when you think about the potential impact on Iran, if they saw the United States president, whom they have been discussing things with, stand shoulder to shoulder with Prime Minister Netanyahu,
right?
How powerful of a message and how potentially, brokering that moment could possibly be, and how much pressure it would put on Iran to come clean.
When Ronald Reagan walked away from Mikhail Gorbachev on a nuclear agreement, it sent a signal to Russia, the Soviet Union, that they really had to deal with Ronald Reagan seriously. Yeah. I hope President Obama will learn one of those lessons and not agree to a bad deal or lead the way to a bad deal with Iran. Peace through strength is the best way to deter aggressors, and that's what we need to do with Iran. Unfortunately, Iran looks at President Obama and they recognize he's the president who said nothing when millions of young Iranians took to the streets in 2009 to protest the Iranian government. We never sided with the people we should have sided with. He saw President Obama talk about we're going to help the Syrian moderates, and then we did nothing for the Syrian moderates, and now we're doing too little, too late. He saw us withdraw from Iraq, and therefore Iran has influence in Iraq. And of course, he saw us draw a red line with Syria that we did not enforce. All the president's actions keep suggesting that he will allow vacuums to take place. As we all know, in the Middle East, when a vacuum exists, it's filled by those who are the most violent: ISIS, the Muslim Brotherhood, and now Iran. Israel, living there, cannot let that happen.
Yeah. All good points, well laid out. Just really quickly, Ari, why do you think there's so much personal tension between these two men? Why are they such different people?
Well, I think President Obama came to office determined to put distance between the United States and Israel. He said that. He wanted to put daylight between us. And the reason is that I think he genuinely thought that he could be the middleman, the man who, great negotiator, would forge a peace agreement between the Arabs and the Israelis. What he miscalculated was he thought Israel needed to change in order for there to be peace. The people who need to change are Hamas and Hezbollah and ISIS and Iran and the radicals. Those are the people the United States should be putting pressure on to change so peace can be achieved.
If that's true.
There's an interesting alliance forming between Egypt, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Israel, Arabs and Israelis working together against the threat of Iran.
Without the United States in the picture. It's a stunning development. Ari, very interesting. Great to talk to you as always. Thank you. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, Martha.
You bet.